Let me finish this up. Hush. All right, all right, all right. Oh, it is. Okay. All right, so I found it. The guy's name is Charlie, and his thing is called Quantum Possibilities. The show was 10-Minute Mondays. 10-Minute Mondays, Charlie and Quantum Possibilities. Short story long is the page that put it up there, and it was, let me see, from March 11th, 2019. All right, and I put right now I had the link to it. I put the link to it in under the I think it's on my Instagram page, but I'm going to add it here once I'm finished with this. Okay, so what we're talking about now is chapter 13, and that is regarding acceptance. Acceptance is the title of the chapter. Okay. Let me pull my thingy back up here. Okay. So, the world that we experience daily is the result of imagination previously exercised. Okay. Someone thought it up, and now we live in that reality. We are living the fruits of someone else's imagination, be it sweet or otherwise. Okay. Let's see the first couple paragraphs. Men's perceptions are not bounded by organs of perception. He perceives more than sense, though ever so acute, can discover. And that's from William Blake. However much you seem to be living in a material world, you are actually living in a world of imagination. The outer physical events of life are the fruit of forgotten blossom times, results of previous and usually forgotten states of consciousness. So basically, somebody else thought it up. Somebody else thought it up and put the materials together, gathered the resources, and followed through with this thought. Okay? Whether it's the building you live in, the car you're driving, they have concept cars. And a lot of those concept cars don't make it onto the road, but they have them in the car shows because people are exercising the possibilities. Okay? The auto designers, architectural designers, fashion designers, they are exercising their imaginations and bringing it into real life for us to view and enjoy and participate in. We are able to do those things as well. As I said, imagination is not just for children. Adults are doing it all the time. And it's not just in the arts, as I said, it's in the sciences. So, start working your plan. There really are no limits. We've been given mental shackles, but there's really no limits to what we're able to do in this life. I mean, think of the most productive person, someone who's living their dream. How did they get to that point? Exercising their imagination, thinking and working, operating outside of the box, outside of the paradigm, outside of the given programming that we've been given since we were small. break on through to the other side, okay? Mr. Goddard, let's see, says, those periods of absorption, of concentrated attention, are the beginnings of the things you harvest, okay? It is in such moments that you are exercising your creative power, the only creative power there is. At the end of these periods or moments of absorption, you speed from these imaginative states where you have not been physically to where you were physically an instant ago. In these periods, the imagined state is so real that when you return to the objective world and find that it is not the same as the imagined state, it is an actual shock. So you can become so engrossed in fleshing out your imagined goal, whatever it is you're aiming for. You can become so engrossed in fleshing it out mentally that you are there. In your mind, you are there. You are experiencing it, tasting it, smelling it, touching it so strongly, so intensely that it's like returning from a daydream. When you return back to your present time, it's a shock. Okay? You have seen something in imagination with such vividness that you now wonder whether the evidence of your senses can now be believed. And that, like Keats, you ask, was it a vision or a waking dream? Okay. Time warping is a way of describing it. Jumping ahead. If you remember the show Quantum Leap, it's kind of what they were working with. Living it ahead of time and then experiencing it again later on. Jumping ahead, then returning until the future catches up with you. The man who at will, let's see, the man who at will can consume whatever state he pleases, excuse me, not consume, assume, the man who at will can assume whatever state he pleases has found the keys to the kingdom of heaven. The keys are desire, imagination, and a steadily focused attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To such a man, any undesirable objective fact, to such a man, any undesirable objective fact is no longer a reality and the ardent wish no longer a dream. Okay, so we're talking again about objective, external versus subjective, internal realities, and essentially experiencing our wish fulfilled before it is formulated in our current time period. Okay, so whether it's minutes, days, hours, months, depending on the details that need to be pulled together, you're drawing it into yourself. You're experiencing it so vividly that it's causing the different factors that need to come together in order to make it a reality to come on through. Okay. Um, yes. Okay. So we are never in lack. I'm restating this again. We are never in lack except in our thoughts, because with practice, we can open the doors leading to our desired way. Okay, prove me now, herewith, this is Mr. Goddard again. Prove me now, herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. and that's from Malachi 3, verse 10. He goes on to say, no, let me read this next one. The windows of heaven may not be opened and the treasures seized by a strong will, but they open of themselves and present their treasures as a free gift. So it's not about seizing something. Seizing is what we tend to do in the objective world. We go out and grab whatever it is that we're um, focused on. We make it happen. We, you know, force it into existence. Essentially, we wrestle it down to the ground. Where that's the objective way of doing things. You know, work, work, work until you achieve it. But in the subjective, it's given as a free gift from the ether. It's already in existence. We just need to call it in and, experience it. A gift that comes when absorption reaches such a degree that it results in a feeling of complete acceptance. You totally accept the fact that you can have this as a reality. You're absorbed in the feeling that you can actually achieve this thing that you're imagining. Okay. And he goes on to say, and this is from Zacharian, um, chapter 4, verse 6. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Okay, assume the spirit, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you will have opened the windows to receive the blessing. To assume a state is to get into the spirit of it. Okay. And finally, the Lord of hosts will not respond to your wish until you have assumed the feeling of already being what you want to be, for acceptance is the channel of action. So once you're willing to accept the gift fully, it will come into completion for you. Acceptance is the Lord of hosts in action. All righty. So this chapter was called Acceptance. So each chapter we talk about having the assumption, we talk about honing the imagination, focusing on the details and the feelings. That's the basic route. These are other um, tangent type ideas that also come into play. So each of the successive chapters is talking about other aspects of things that are involved in this process. But that's it for now. Next week, we'll have another two. I thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, and keep coming back. All righty. Talk to you later.